Hey y'all, welcome back to Standing with Ashley. I'm Ashley. I'm laughing because I just said something really funny in my other video. Okay, we're gonna do a collective reading using the Light Seers Tarot. And if you're lucky, I'll say the same thing over here, which probably will. Oh man. You don't always have to censor yourself. You know, you can be really funny when you speak your honest opinion and truth. Alright. Anyhow, we're using the Light Seers. I think I already said that. I just uploaded daily, god damn it, I did it again. Decolonizing 101 course, and the Mental Health and Wellness is uploading right now. By the time you're watching this, it will be there. So go check those out if you feel called to. Today the decolonizing was about breaking cycles, and the mental health and wellness was about, I just did this like 30 seconds ago. What the fuck? Oh, our environment. Damn edibles. Alright, always kicking in. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Alright. Okay. Like, Ashley, shut up. Okay. Okay. Alright, we have the... Damn. A lot of masculine energy here. Uh-oh. No, I'm kidding. It's all good. We have... Rutro. Wow, this is fascinating. No fucking major arcana. Are you kidding me? Ew. Whoa, we have a pair. The King and Queen of Wands. Wand energy is ruled by the element of fire. Am I right? Am I right? And it is representative of the spiritual realm or your spiritual path. So this is a balanced pair, the King and Queen of Wands. So let's go ahead and take that. How are you feeling spiritually? We are in spiritual warfare, right? We are in psychological and spiritual warfare. Not to, we're all okay. All of the suits of tarot represent the like 4 different things that are important to our whole being: our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual being. And we are currently living in a time in which all 4 of those things are under attack: psychological warfare, spiritual warfare, emotionally, making us feel drained by the constant, I mean, it's part of the psychological warfare. I think psychological like encompasses the mental and emotional state of things, and then obviously physical warfare is also happening. So hi, yay, super fun. Again, if this is resonating, go check out the other 2 that I just did, the mental health and wellness and the decolonizing. But the mental health and wellness, we talked about the environment, and I kind of made that. Next week we are going to be covering the systems, like the actual systems that I'm referencing at this moment. But our environment is very important. So if we don't have a safe place to decompress from all of this information overload, it can lead to a lot of feelings, which I have in all of these other tarot cards. Hi, I'm not just here to give a sermon. Alright, we have the 5 of Cups and 5 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. 5 energy initiates change. Because it... Oh shit, my battery's low. Let me get through this. Oh no. Ugh. Let me go get my charger. RB. Sorry. Can't wake up the kid. I know our doors are really loud in this house. I've come to enjoy it. Alright, hang on, let me lock myself in. Oh no. Oh shit. so much. When I started, I was like, oh good, I have like half. Oh my god, I need my fucking flashlight. Hang on, friends. Sorry. This battery is also low. End of the night. Gotta recharge everything. Ooh. Okay, hi, I'm here. I know I make a lot of sounds. It's part of my sex appeal. It's a joke. Okay. Hi, alright. Oh, there we go. Calculating. Okay, yeah, let me pull my pants. Okay, so anyway, what was I saying? I don't like how it's orange. I gotta get it back to. There we go. Hey, regular colors. Okay, I'm out of breath. That was really wow. Alright. So 5 of Swords, mental anguish. 5 of Cups, emotional anguish. 5 of Pentacles, physical anguish. Okay, all 3 of these people are stressed the fuck out. Okay, however, they also have the solution in the photo. So that 5 initiates whether. Oh, I'm out of breath. If we're going to change the way, right? So again, the decolonizing I just posted was about breaking cycles, and that was kind of the conversation. When we know better, we do better, even if it's different than the others around us, right? I mean, to each their own. We all have free will. But if you're on my channel, we like to grow. I believe growth is the reason that we're all here, for starters. But like within that growth, we also are called to do more important things with that, right? Anyway, so how are you feeling right now? I think the thing that we have with this King and Queen of Wands is that regardless of what these things are doing, if you can stay balanced in your own spirituality, spirituality is a personal path. What you believe in, whether it's within a religion or not, is what resonates with your spirit, with your soul, and that is perfectly fine with me. You are safe here regardless of what you believe. And I think that, again, we all do things differently, and that's part of what makes the world a beautiful place. But when we start to have challenges is when we use that stuff as like warfare, right? Which I already previously mentioned. When we start to attack others for being different, or when we attack ourselves for, you know, I don't know. I practice spirituality outside of religion, so to each their own. We have the 4 of Cups, boredom. Alright, this is a lot of negative energy, I'm not gonna lie. The 6 of Swords, I mean, negative is subjective, but not my readings don't usually look like this. So the collective is struggling right now with overthinking, with being bored, with having to walk away from things that are no longer serving us, and we are needing to stay in our integrity, okay? The 7 of Swords. So we do have a progression from the 5 of, ooh, this is interesting, from the 5 energy. So the 5 of Swords is about overthinking. The 6 of Swords is about making a move. So kind of allowing yourself to not think too much. So I'm going to talk about the progressions that we have here. The 4 of Cups is this feeling of boredom, followed by the 5 of Cups, which we just talked about, which was focusing. Both of these cards are about focusing on what you don't have versus what you do have. This is a conversation I have with my son constantly, because it took me a long time, like in my 20s, to recognize that we need to focus on what we do have. Each of these chicas have a... Ooh, I'm learning Spanish using Duolingo. We haven't talked about chicas yet. But both of them have one bowl. The bowls are representative of the element of water, and water represents our emotional stability or lack thereof, right? Can you see my pirate ship? So my pirate ship is what I use to talk about emotions. Let me get my Harry Potter wand over here. So you are the ship, your body, your soul, who you are, okay? is the ship, and the waves are your emotions. So sometimes it's fucking choppy water. Sometimes it's like that North Sea videos from TikTok. Yo, right? Or sometimes you're just like smooth sailing, right? Feelings are fleeting, okay? So when we are thinking, I'm just gonna use my wand. When we're I have two wands. You wanna see the other one? I love to share. Is this one? This one has stones on it. This one's a Harry Potter toy wand. It's Miss Pomfrey's, I guess, or Professor Pomfrey. She's the nurse, which is funny because I'm a healer. Okay, you didn't get to pick. It came randomly from Walmart. Anyway, we're focusing on what we have lost instead of pouring into what we do have, right? And you are what you have, okay? This seems like it's a reading about solely ourselves, and I think that in this moment there's just so much. There's like so much bombarding. There's so much bombarding us. I'm not gonna share that image. That it is overwhelming, and it can easily lead to backtracking into some things that we've already graduated from. I think winter is also, seasonal depression. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's a very real thing. Or just like being in the United States, depression is also a very real thing. Shit's scary as fuck out there. Get yourself some fucking self-defense. This is a taser bat. I have a lot of random weapons because I don't feel comfortable having a gun in here with my son. So I have a lot of other shit that he has no interest in. I just found a paintbrush. Anyway, these are nice. I gotta put this in the ambulance. I suck at painting. I suck at most fine arts. I prefer to do big projects. Anyway, this isn't about me. Sorry, I had an edible a little while ago. Probably obvious. Anyway, so spiritually speaking, if you can keep your spirit healthy, your spiritual hygiene, which looks different for everybody. Maybe that is reciting prayers or your Hail Marys. Is that a real thing or is that just basketball? I don't know. Or maybe, lots of religions have different practices for prayer. So maybe that's something that you do. Also practices for your body, spiritually wise, right? So thinking about, yoga comes to mind, stretching, even just like allowing your body to be moving, right? Moving. Our bodies are our bodies are containers. There is random hair everywhere. Our bodies are containers for our soul. And so how we choose to take care of ourselves. This is beautiful energy, but this feels like it's something that we may be dealing with. So because both of these aspects are here, the feminine and masculine, it's like finding balance. So the feminine is about being and the masculine is about doing. But this is again within the spiritual or fiery nature, right? He's got his back to a lion. He is so firm in his belief to be able to just take that on if he needed to. And she is super chilling. She's excited as fuck, right? I am awesome. Maybe you're working on because of her image, she's holding that little ball of light. Maybe you're working on some supernatural gifts, or honing some supernatural gifts. Maybe you're realizing that you have healing hands or healing qualities, and maybe that's something that you're discovering about yourself. Go check out some of the What's Your Calling readings if you're choosing an entirely different path. That could be helpful. I know I'm all over the place. I'm okay with that. Okay, we do have a little bit of masculine energy here with the Page of Cups and the progression into the Knight of Cups. So this is also speaking to personal development in this reading. In this case, there's this little pig with wings, so that's saying when pigs fly. So maybe there's something that all of this energy was telling you couldn't do, right? And, maybe there was a big leap of faith that you had to take or that you're going to take, and you had to silence all of this energy, right? so that you could get to this point of stability, right? A lot of readers read this as a love offer. I usually do as well. But in this point, the way his legs are, this is the tree pose in yoga. There's a horse, there's roses, right? I'm getting Brett fucking Michaels always comes through. You guys weren't, I don't know if you guys were alive. I mean, he's got a little picnic set up. Okay, yeah, that's definitely a love reading. He's kind of cute. He's got a sleeve and his little, like, yuppie hat. Can you see the hat on his lap? Chucks. Anyway, maybe this is about love, but I feel like it's about loving yourself and getting to a point of loving yourself by choosing what it is that you're going to focus on here in the physical, which is that masculine energy. Again, the doing. What are you doing to make yourself go from I can never do that to I'm super solid? Let's do it, you know? It's a cute Prakash. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles. Maybe you are really working on your earthly stuff. So Pentacles, a lot of readers read it as money only, but I see it as, because money's made up, the Pentacle energy to me is your relationship to nature and the earth around you, while it also speaks to your abundance. Abundance being everything, not just money, but your skills, your talents, your passion, your ideas, the things that you're drawn to do, right? And when we have faith in the spiritual aspect of things, navigating all of these other areas is very, I almost said easier, but it's not necessarily easier, but it's complementary to the path that we've chosen within our own understanding of ourselves, right? Because that's what spirituality is. Spirituality is the coming home to yourself. It's your relationship to what you believe and who you are in that. That's what spirituality is. It's not a competition. It's not about rules. It is the Fool. It's about taking a leap of faith. It's about recognizing that you will be held. If you are, I feel like people might be struggling with spirituality because of what we're witnessing. But when you understand the polar, let's understand the polar aspect to things, good and evil. Let's start there. Good and evil, it's pretty obvious that there's a pretty solid divide of that right now, especially in the lovely United States. It's obvious, and our spiritual path, when we come into a certain state of consciousness, when we become aware of not only the decisions that we're making, the way that we've been harmed, right? When we're in this healing my fucking brain is so inappropriate. My God. My brain would like you to hear balls deep in this process, which is why I was laughing at the beginning, because I think I said something about balls. Oh, I said suck balls. So anyway, I'm sorry, Blink 182 brain. But anyway, when you're in this process, however deep you are, taking a leap of faith gets easier and easier, right? You become one with not only your decisions and the consequences, but as you've gone through enough bullshit, right? All of this stuff. A lot of this stuff can make people be like, I don't believe I can do anything, right? But when we come out of that, because we focus on our spiritual path and balancing our aspects, we can come into a space where even when challenges arise, so like I went to my land on Monday, a week ago, everything was stolen. I had 2 RVs. I put so much money into beginning that homestead, money, energy, years. Okay, you can go over to my channel, which you're already here, hey, and you can watch the homesteading diaries. That's all. I'm really glad I recorded all of those now that everything is just vanished, right? But I just had a really good idea of how to use that land today, and I think I'm going to follow through on that. So again, when things happen that we feel like this about, like we feel distraught and all like, oh my God, and we're overthinking and we're being forced to walk away from shit, right? Think about your spiritual path. It's for a reason, right? Like something better can happen. It's protection, right? So know that you will be held as long as you keep your integrity within spirituality intact. Okay. I'm seeing the affirmation, I deserve the best and I accept the best now. A note card came out of my tarot deck. I freely express who I am. Anything else? Why are you giving me so much? Okay, the moon is about your shadow aspects. Again, the moon is Pisces energy. So Pisces is like the depths of the ocean. And so, you know, the moon goes through cycles. Sometimes it's full, sometimes it's not there at all, right? Just like my RVs. Lovely. So we have our light energy and our dark energy. Light and dark aren't necessarily good and evil. Okay, there's totally a bunch of different contradictions and things that we balance out. Oh yeah, this is solid. So we have the Knight of Wands. What I just said about being so solid, I don't know. I said something, oh, I freely express who I am. That's what I said. This is that energy. And again, she and this guy have a lot in common. This Chico Bonita is, I don't know why I'm really trying to learn Spanish in case we have to leave to go to Mexico, honestly, that's why. So they both have horses behind them. They're both ready to take on, you know, he's more like planted in stability, which is the masculine aspect. But she's all like, I am finally cool with who I am, which is a huge feat for women in our society. To be comfortable with who you are is something that the society does so much to keep you away from it. Okay, so we have the Five of Wands coming out. So we literally have all of the fives. And again, fives are... It's when things are really bad that it forces you to make change. 5 in numerology speaks to change. But the Five of Wands is competition. Usually it's like hidden animosity. So all 5 of the 5 energies coming out means that there's definitely some struggle bus happening within this. But I understand because that's exactly what the warfare and the powers and systems that be are trying to do to us. They're trying to put us into this energy where we feel lack, where we feel victimized, where we feel sad, like we nothing's gonna ever prosper. We're overthinking, we're running ourselves ragged so that we can't focus on our own stability and wellness and spirituality, right? It's tactical, and when you know it's tactical, it's a lot easier to ignore. Okay. And speaking about ignoring the last 3 cards, we have the Ace of Swords, which is obviously enlightenment. The Stairway to Heaven is a great song by Led Zeppelin. Go get high and listen to it. If you're not of age to get high, don't do it. But I always mark that these are not for kids, so I don't know why. I just had to interject that. We have the Magician and the Emperor from the Major Arcana. So finally we had some Major Arcana energy come out, but your enlightenment, your Ace of Swords is that mental stability, your ability to not only open yourself up to new concepts, but also integrate the things that you already know, right, within that, so to make yourself very well-rounded, right, within your mental. Again, so many artists have spoken to mental slavery, or you know, I'm getting Bob Marley, kind of. Where are you? Lyric. We must... Is this copyrighted or something? We must... Something from... emancipate. Emancipate yourselves from mental slavery? Is that the word? Anyway, go listen to Bob Marley and Led Zeppelin. You will feel great. I'm gonna do that after this. This waterfall music isn't doing it for me. Anyway, speaking of water, we have the Magician and the Emperor. Whatever you want to create in this physical realm can be created once you find enough balance. And again, within yourself and around you, whatever your spirituality is to you, start practicing it. Practice, I mean, it's just like all of the other things. It's just like washing your ass, right? You have to do some spiritual hygiene. Whether that's putting salt on your front porch and, you know, having garlic hanging somewhere in your house, or and also maybe it's taking Epsom salt baths. Maybe it's, you know, spiritual hygiene can look like a lot of different things. Prayer, it can look like taking care of all of the other aspects. But each person has their own shit, okay? I'm not going to give you all of my keys to the trade. Very alfalfa over here. But you know, crystals. Got a fuck ton of crystals right here. Maybe crystals are your thing. Either way, find what works for you. Explore stuff, and don't be afraid to explore new things. Especially if you're coming from religion. Religion is a systemic use of control. Okay, you're not a bad person for questioning the beliefs of the white man. Okay, you are you are a spiritual being. Having a human experience, and it's really hard. Okay, being a human is not easy, especially in these times. But I believe that we've all been either volunteered or called to this planet to help in this moment. Maybe not all of us, but I mean, if people came into consciousness, then yes, all of us. But don't let that 5 energy keep you down. Recognize it. I think that's the most important thing too, to stay well and balanced, is to recognize it when you feel it. And I've been having to do that a lot lately. I'm in this shit too. I had such a hard week last week. It was awful. It was so difficult. And it took me until like Thursday to recognize that I was putting myself back into these, like, that 5 of 5 energy. I was like, everything sucks. I was very traumatized. Or like I wasn't being re-traumatized, but I was like allowing PTSD to like take over. Because we went to our land, and like that was a traumatizing, and then the dog next door like had parvo, and like she is all better now. But like all of that shit was just like, it was too much for me. And then, you know, not to mention what's going on in the world. I was just like, whoa. So, it took me a minute, that 5 of Swords energy, that mental. But I'm like, I'm doing this to myself. I'm like reliving this shit, or like expecting the worst outcome, unnecessarily, right? So maybe that's important too. Maybe you're focusing on all the negative, and maybe it's just about shifting your perspective, and that's it. I don't think I need to say more about that. Okay, we have mirror. What you see in others is reflected in yourself. When you confront your shadow, everything you see changes. And we have opportunity. If you don't see the path in front of you, make one. Have a good one. Hee hee.